Brighten up those dark mornings. Wheeler, Ollie, and Lecter. Mornings at the Cabin.
Mornings at the Cabin, indeed. Wheeler and Lecter with you on your Thursday morning. Mornings at the Cabin brought to you by Aurora Ford, driving the north. It is minus 30 still, so hopefully you dress up warm this morning. Or if you're still asleep in your comfy bed, you're not listening to this. So that's okay, too. That's where I'd like to be.
Won't you be surprised when you wake up?
Won't you be surprised by all the things we said about you while you were asleep? Like, get up and get out of my house. It would be nice to be asleep in a comfy bed right now, but I'm also good being here. Not bad at all.
We're already here.
Yeah, we're already here. Might as well get it done.
Just do it.
More Burger Week news as we have tried out more burgers, and it officially started yesterday, so go get your burgers. Haven't tried that isolation burger yet, and holy jumping, it looks pretty great.
Which one's that again? Is that
that's the Woodyard.
Woodyard. Right.
We have tried it collectively as a group, but we don't share consciousness, so I haven't tasted it yet. But you and I tested out another one yesterday, and then you tested out another one right after that.
Yeah.
So those videos will be up soon. But if you don't know about Burger Week, it started yesterday. It's going to February 6th. Proceeds going to the Food First Foundation. It's a great cause, and like what a great excuse to break your New Year's resolution, if you still make those, you weirdo, and have a burger or two. It helps people in need. So there you go. Who still makes
it only really affects you if your New Year's resolution was exactly
don't eat burgers.
Stop having a burger or two.
Yeah. No, my New Year's resolution was to stop helping people who need food and to stop eating food that's bad for me. So that's a double whammy on my New Year's resolution.
Oh, also stop supporting local restaurants.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. We could not, we cannot say that enough. Stop shopping local. This is all jokes. Please don't take this seriously.
Mornings at the Cabin, the podcast.
Wheeler and Lex with you on your Thursday morning. It's only Thursday. God, I woke up this morning thinking it was Friday. Here we are. It's Thursday. That's okay, though. It's okay.
You sounded so
I was just dejected.
Just devastated.
No, I was up. I was getting ready.
Thursday.
Getting ready, having my toast and my coffee. And I was like, that's right. Friday. So this. Oh, wait. It's not Friday. That's okay, though.
Was it even tasting like Friday toast and coffee? Just tasting a little bit better.
Yeah. Well, not really. I work on Saturdays anyway, so Friday's not really Friday.
Oh, so calm down.
No, though. Okay. All right, I'll calm down. Mornings at the Cabin brought to you by Aurora Ford. Driving the North. We were talking about Burger Week, and let's talk about the things we tried out yesterday. We tried the Firecracker Burger at the Monkey Tree and the Lamborghini at Steak. Is that what it's called? Lamborghini?
Yes.
Yes. The Lamb Burger.
I think the frozen.
Yeah, frozen Lamborghini.
Lamborghini?
That's right. And nothing frozen about this ride, or whatever AJ said. Not really a pun. We asked for a pun, and he just gave us that. And we had the Firecracker Burger at, you know what? You talk amongst yourselves for a second. Just a sec. Go ahead.
Huh?
Go ahead. Just talk.
Should I talk to my banana?
Yeah, talk to your banana. Hi, banana.
How do you feel about the fact that you've seen your close brothers and sisters just stripped from your bushel
Banana,
day by day?
Banana, how do you feel about traveling further from being picked to Yellowknife than the people who picked you will ever travel in their entire lives?
He doesn't understand what you just said. He's from Ecuador.
No, fair enough. Wish I spoke Spanish.
So I don't know why I was speaking English either. Sorry, Banana. We'll leave you alone.
Okay, there's a whole podcast we could do on why we shouldn't even have bananas in Yellowknife, but we'll get into that another time.
No
one's going to listen. Well, somebody might. Probably not me talking about it, but somebody would tell, you know, we're not supposed to have avocados and stuff here.
I'm happy we do, though.
I mean, makes my toast better. Monkey Tree Pub, Aurora Firecracker is what it's called, pardon me. House-made beef patty topped with lightly spiced barbecue sauce, cheddar, I was going to say cheddar bacon. Cheddar, bacon, Cajun crispy fried onion, battered fresh jalapeno, like deep fried jalapenos.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mayo, red onion, lettuce, tomato, and pickle, all on a brioche bun. Delicious. Absolutely delicious.
Yeah.
$12 for that one. $2 goes to the Food First Foundation. So that's a sweet deal. It's a sweet deal.
Not too spicy, too.
Not too
Don't
spicy.
Let those
like a
jalapenos
nice
scare you away.
Exactly, because they're deep fried. It takes away some of their zip.
Yeah.
But it's a nice heat. It's not like just spicy, like if you bit into a jalapeno, which I don't really understand. I don't really understand just the spice. I like a flavor. You know?
Yes.
So we did that. Chef Mark Lindsay at the Monkey Tree and Steak came out, gave us both burgers, gave us the rundown. He's pretty stoked about them.
Yeah,
and
as he should be.
He absolutely should be. And he said what did he say? He gave us the Aurora firecracker, and then he talked about the steak one. He's like, just wait, this one's even better. So I didn't get to try the frozen Lamborghini. I tried to grab one of yours and take a bite of it, but how was it?
So good.
So good.
So good.
House-made lamb patty topped with pepper relish, goat cheese, lemon aioli, red onion, lettuce, and tomato on a brioche bun. They love their brioche buns.
Well, how could you not?
I know.
You can't go wrong with a brioche bun.
It's true.
I've been saying it all my life.
You can get brioche bread at the grocery store. It's become very popular. It's great with just a little bit of butter.
Because you can't go wrong.
Well, it's nice and sweet. It's like a sweet bread. It's like, well, it's what Wendy's used to use brioche back in the day, before anybody did.
When they called it brioche.
Brioche. Do you remember when Wendy's buns were basically two pieces of yellow cake around a burger? That was their version of brioche.
Yellow cake.
Basically, it was like yellowish. It was probably dyed, but it was like a sweet bread almost. So it was like it tastes like two pieces of cake. It's sweet enough to taste like.
Oh, I don't remember that.
Well, brioche is a little different now. This is not your grandfather's brioche. This is today's
ain't no
brioche.
yellow cake.
That's right, which is explosive. So again, I know we've been talking about this ad nauseum, but I mean, get out there, try some of these burgers. It started officially yesterday. So now you can go to any of these fine establishments and help out the Food First Foundation and get some good grub as well. Everybody talking about that isolation burger, mostly because I think Woodyard does the most advertising. Also, it looks insane.
Yeah.
And if you go to Cabin, or if you go to our Facebook page, you'll see Ollie and Sarah trying it out.
Yeah.
And they were talking back and forth about why they needed a fork and knife. And then then the villainous chef came over and just dumped a quart of gravy all over it. And it looked pretty good.
All over Ollie?
All over Ollie. That's why you need a knife and fork, you jerk.
Cut down that knife and fork.
It's villainous. That's would be villainous. Would be. So go check that out. We've checked out pretty much all of them. I think we're doing Black Knight today.
I think you're at Black Knight today.
Me?
Yeah.
You're not coming?
Speaking of monsters.
Yeah, no doubt.
God.
Double-decker bison patty with a house-made special sauce, lettuce, tomato, house-made pickles, fried onions, aged cheddar, applewood smoked bacon on a 3-layer sesame. Good Lord. It's like a bison. I don't even know what to call that. You're not coming to this one?
I think it's you and Emily.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
Blaker, eh?
No, it's not the same as last year. It's not me and AJ.
Oh no, we're just like, well, I mean, we have
everything. We got to share this.
We have
year
more
with the
people.
team.
Like last year at this time, we had 4 people working for us, and now we got a whole team.
And only one vegetarian.
Yeah. That's fine. Did she like the vegetarian stuff? You know what? We're going to talk to her later, so we'll bring it up.
Okay.
Because we got to find out who's going to win in a fight between Brack and Sibs. They really hate each other.
Mornings at the Cabin, the podcast, where we cut out all the great music and you're left with the rest.
What are you doing?
I was pointing at you to start the thing.
Why?
I thought you wanted to do
You're
this
the host of the show.
But I mean, I don't. No, but you wanted to play the music. You wanted to play intro music, I thought. No, you're not on yet. There you are.
Shall I just sing my own theme tune?
Yes, please do.
What is it?
You said it was your own. Mornings at the Cabin.
I could just bring my own. I'll just sing some Peter Gabriel.
Oh, God. I want to be Sledgehammer. I thought you were doing that. That's why I pointed to you to be like, go for it.
Well, I was going to. I figured you would introduce,
No.
the show.
Mornings at the Cabin, brought to you by Aurora Ford.
Shall I just come back and we'll try again?
We've tried to figure out this theme music thing, and it's just not working properly because, you know what? Lecter doesn't like being pointed at, which is...
No, that's not it.
not it.
All right, it's over.
All right, it's done. Ollie, welcome. Time for another segment we like to call, without knowing precisely what's going on, with Ollie Williams.
Was that not it? That was the segment, wasn't it? I hadn't got a clue what was going on there.
We wanted to talk about this whole GameStop situation. So this has been dominating the news, especially the financial news, the last couple of days. And GameStop, if you don't know, is basically a place to rent and buy games. It's like a Blockbuster for video games. And as just like Blockbuster, its value has been crumbling in the last 5 years. In 2017, its shares dropped to $25 in the last 3 years since. Hedge funds like Melvin Capital, who are involved in this story, have been shorting those positions, and their stock prices dropped to about $5. In the last 2 weeks, it has surged 1,000%, which is how much? If it goes up to $500, right? Is that what it is?
Sure.
Yeah, I have no idea.
So,
Brett, you sound like you know precisely what's going
well,
on.
I've been doing a lot of research.
I've been
this
reading,
morning, actually.
Anyone casually tosses out the phrase shorting something, like most people don't know what shorting is. What's shorting?
The Big Short is one of my favorite movies.
Okay, but we still need to define what it is for people.
So basically, shorting is betting against a business. Your bet so what you usually do in the stock market is that you're hoping that I'm going to put in $10 for a share, and I hope that share goes from $10 to $25. I'll make all that money.
Bring up that little educational video.
I will.
It was good.
Let's do that again.
So people have been shorting GameStop?
So yes, this one hedge fund called Melvin Capital has been shorting GameStop for about 3 years in order to make money. And so when it fails, they'll make a bunch of money for their investors. So what's happened in the last 2 weeks is regular folks, mostly from Reddit, from a subreddit called Wall Street Bets, they kind of figure out what's going on. If you read in Wall Street Bets, they don't love hedge funds. They don't love shorting. They think betting on failure is not moral, I guess.
They don't love love.
They don't love love. And so so they got together basically and invested, I'm not even sure how much money, but cost 2 hedge funds, including Melvin Capital, which seems to be the one that's kind of up front and center on this one, $20 billion.
And the reason they cost the money is because by buying so many shares, they drove up the price.
Exactly.
Which means that if you're shorting it, you were betting against the company, you'd lose money.
Exactly.
Okay.
So they went the reverse on it, but I do have this nifty little video. It's 30 seconds long, and this explains what shorting is. If it'll play. It's going to play.
You guys are having a lot of luck with this today.
Short selling is an investment strategy that lets someone make money when the price of the stock goes down, not up. A short seller, let's call her Jenny, does this by picking a stock she thinks is going to go down in value. Instead of buying a stock in the company that she's about to short, she borrows one share from another investor who already owns it. Let's call that person Jimmy. Jenny then sells that borrowed share for $10 and puts the proceeds in the bank. So far, she's up $10, but remember, she still has to replace the share she borrowed from Jimmy. So let's assume Jenny bet right, and the price of that stock goes down.
It stopped.
Oh.
There it is.
Say 8.
It was quite short.
The stock market buys that share back for $8. So now she can pay back Jimmy with the share she bought for $8, not the 10 she sold it for. So she's made $2 out of all this. And that is short selling.
So that's it. So I borrow money from you. I borrow a share from you. I go sell it. I keep that money, and then I wait for the share to drop, and then I give it back to you. And then you can sell. I just give it back to you, and then you can sell it, but you can only sell it for $8.
So what's the problem with all the regular investors deciding to do this with GameStop then?
I don't think it is a problem. So it's basically like, this is like a regular folks versus Wall Street kind of hero story. But some people made some really good points. I mean, good points. They find themselves, the investors who are regular investors in this hedge fund, because regular folks invest in hedge funds as well, because hedge funds are a very popular way to kind of not be involved with the stock market yourself. Because, I mean, a lot of people find it very complicated. It's like, I'm going to give you this money. You guys go do that. Mm-hmm. And then with hedge funds, it's kind of open-ended, so you can kind of take money and put money in as you see fit based on their value, the hedge fund's value. So if the hedge fund value goes to zero, so does all your money. You lose all your money. So apparently, and I haven't seen any of this video, there were videos of reactions of people that had bet on Melvin Capital to do this thing that they were doing, or some of the things that they were doing, and then lost their entire retirement savings in 5 seconds, because all these regular investors are pumping up GameStop while hedge fund is betting against them. They can't catch up, so they lose a bunch of money. So Melvin Capital has now filed for bankruptcy after receiving a bailout. So, like,
and the general public can't decide whether the good guys won or lost.
Pretty much, right? I mean, but what becomes of those regular investors in the hedge fund is that they are the victims of the hedge fund. They're not the victims of these regular investors. They're the victims of the hedge fund who decided that this was the best position to go in. Meanwhile, basically gamers on Reddit were like, well, we love GameStop and we don't love what you're doing, so we're just going to bet into GameStop, and cost these two investment firms $20 billion in, projected investment earnings.
Right.
Yeah. But, I mean, when you go back to the crisis in 2008, and you're talking about hedge funds, and you're talking about risk management when it comes to, like, say, something like the real estate market.
It was because people did that with Blockbuster.
That's right.
Just very quickly, Melvin Capital has not filed for bankruptcy.
Okay.
That's just the social media. That's just a bunch of fake news.
Okay.
Well, good for Melvin.
But they did need a couple of billion, like, to be
put into
it by their owners in order to keep them afloat.
Okay, it says, well, this one does say to file for bankruptcy as soon as next week. So obviously they've been protected by something. They've probably been bailed out again. Broad strokes, and this is just from a tweet. A hedge fund was betting on GameStop to stock dropping or shorting. A bunch of regular folks got together, push buys on the stock. Stock price took off. Redditors made big bucks. Hedge fund lost their shirt.
Well, thanks, Jesse. That was
I don't know why you came in.
We didn't know what's going on with Jesse Wheeler. You're listening to Mornings at the Cabin, brought to you by Aurora Ford, driving the north. The news is next.
We got a song first, probably. Thanks, Ollie.
The Mornings at the Cabin podcast. Hey, it was early. What do you want from us?
Mornings at the Cabin brought to you by Aurora Ford, driving the north. We're having a good time talking about burgers, talking about Wall Street, and, communism. It's just these things that we talk about on a daily basis. It doesn't mean anything.
They go together oddly well.
They go
Burgers
together,
and communism.
They go together like candy and craft dinner. We'll come back to that. Actually, let's start right now. We got Brack and Barry here. Megan, welcome. We have a little something to talk about, but I wanted to bring this up because I want to talk about Bell Let's Talk to end the show because it is Bell Let's Talk Day. But I want to talk about this very quickly before we talk about what we brought Brax in for. Mm-hmm. And that's her fight, or her. Well, I mean, what's the word I'm talking about here? Not a fight.
Competition.
Scrap,
or no.
Duel? No, not
no,
duel.
Not duel.
Oh.
It's kind of her. Yeah, they're butting of heads.
Pugilistic battle of the century.
Okay, so Kraft is releasing a pink candy flavored Kraft dinner this year. Just in time for Valentine's Day. And you and I were talking about this and like, I'll just make it pink. That's kind of funny if it tastes the same.
Yeah.
But it doesn't.
No.
It comes with the cheese pack, and then it comes with a candy pack, which dyes the cheese pink, but also has like a candy flavor.
Yeah.
It says slight but unspecified candy taste, says all recipes. Adding a bit of
sugar.
Yeah, exactly. Adding a bit of unexpected sweetness to the mix.
Something that nobody ever asked for, I don't think.
That's right.
Are you supposed to put
Brack,
the cheese?
did you ask for that?
I didn't even conceive of that in my
Have you
wildest
ever eaten Kraft dinner?
Yes, I've eaten Kraft dinner.
All right. Just making sure.
What do you mean?
So just checking if it was a generational
Yeah,
thing.
it could be a generational thing.
Yeah.
Got to fatten up those tapeworms. But I mean, like, if it would be something I might buy as a joke if it was just pink. Like, if it didn't change the flavor at all, it's like, it's pink. This is funny.
Oh, this is no joke.
No joke.
No.
You're supposed to mix.
It's got a packet of Pop Rocks with it or something.
That's disgusting.
It
You're
is
supposed to
gross.
mix the cheese with the candy?
Well, so you mix the cheese in, and then the candy packet turns it pink and has a candy taste.
Gross.
Yeah.
Gross.
disgusting.
And right now you can only buy it online, so candycraftmacandcheese.com. Hit it up. Valentine's Day
It's
is
got
coming
its own
up.
website, Candy Craft
Mac and Cheese. There you go. Get it. Nope. There's no purchase. What is it? You can win a box. I see. You can win a box of it. So it's very limited availability.
Okay.
Still disgusting. Okay. So when I came in, there was something on the board, as there usually is, and sometimes I need an explanation. But top of the board this morning, who would win a fight? Brack versus Sibs.
Now, up until this point, it's been Brack and Sibs. And
Now it's
then
Brack v. Sibs.
At some point, yesterday afternoon or yesterday morning, the question came up of Brack versus
Versus
Sibs.
Sibs.
So where did this start?
Don't even remember how it got brought up, to be honest. But I think I don't remember. We were talking, but it's a question that I've asked for many. I've been like, who between us would win in a fight?
It sounds like something you would ask, not
Something-
Sibs,
just an
but you would
internal
just turn
monologue, yeah.
you just turn around in the office and be like,
I could kick your butt.
I could
right?
kick your
Yeah.
ass.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
honestly, I'll be honest. I think I could beat Sarah, but
I don't.
when asked, everybody immediately said Sibs.
I just feel
wow.
like I feel like Sibs has got like a fire in her that
Yeah.
that would just like be unleashed. You know what I mean? Like she's such a sweetheart.
Well,
but I think if you put her hands in her face,
Right.
she would beat
All bets
the
are off.
crap out of you.
And you don't think I would?
I mean, I know. I think you would too. I think you would too. Absolutely. I think you'd throw a few haymakers.
There's just something like
Unassuming.
simmering. Yeah, something unassuming.
Yeah, simmering
about
under
Sibs.
the
We
surface.
don't see that. Like with you, we see an overt fire. in Brack.
Is there a fire?
There's a fire.
I mean, there's a little too much giggling for fire.
Let's get Sibs in
Okay.
here.
Okay.
Giggling and fire go hand in hand.
That's right.
We'll get Sibs in here to talk about how she watched Christmas Story for the first time this past holiday season and said it was pointless.
Pointless.
And you'll see that fire come out.
Okay.
That-
Okay. If we're comparing like feelings towards things, remember, lest we forget that Brackenberry thought the funniest thing on YouTube was Perdita Felician just biffing on her Olympic dreams. Just biffing. She's just like, this is the funniest thing I've ever seen. You got to watch this.
Right.
And that was election night. We were over at Ollie's watching the election coverage. You see, and we were just talking about YouTube videos. Like, this is the funniest thing I've ever seen. My mother showed this to me. She thinks it's the funniest thing she's ever seen. And it's literally Perdita Felician in the 2012 Olympics, the top-rated runner in the world, biffing on the first hurdle and ending her Olympic hopes.
That's comedy
It
gold.
sucks. It sucks. But at the same time, at that point, what do you do? I think
What do
laughter.
you do?
No, you probably cry and grieve for a year or
Cry
so.
and grieve.
And
But it's
probably-
been many years.
Yeah,
It's been 9 years.
Yeah.
And I'm sure I'm sure she's over it.
I'm sure she laughs about it now.
I don't think so.
Probably looks
Probably
back.
Yeah,
not.
probably
like,
like,
you know
look
what?
at what an idiot I was, biffing on the first hurdle. So I mean, there's some fire there. I don't know if that's fire. Maybe that's not like a fire, but like a simmering coal, or something like that, and just ready to be unleashed. But also just a callousness that might help you in a fight.
Callous. Wow.
A little bit, right? You need a little bit of that to really go for the throat.
Well, I was actually like quite peeved yesterday. I was like, no one thinks that I would win. What the heck? So I think that sets me up to win though because I'm the underdog.
Well, do you think that maybe they were just kind of goading you, like kind of trying to promote the fight a little bit? Like we can't just say we think that, it would be a good fight, because then you're both feeling like, oh, okay, yeah, no, it'd be pretty even. Yeah, we're both on the same level. But if they like take one side over the other, then that gets you all fired up. And that gets Sibs probably feeling pretty good about herself. That just increases the competitive juices.
That's true.
Whoever started that rumor or that idea that Sibs would just wipe the floor with you was doing an expert job of promoting.
It was a promotion. It was Ollie. Ollie was like, I'm telling you right now, it will be Sibley. And I
Vince
was like,
McMahon of Cabin Radio.
what the heck is wrong with you? So
Positioning is all against each other.
I'll be honest. I think that if cornered, I would react with more of a fire than Sarah would.
Yeah, if cornered, you're like a mongoose,
Right.
and the Sibley cornered is
A rattlesnake.
a rattlesnake. Okay, well, mongoose.
She's
beats
got the
rattlesnake.
entrance theme, Stone Cold Sarah Sibley.
That's right. And
Yeah.
mongoose can they take down cobras?
right. Yeah,
And
yeah.
that's me.
There you go.
I'm the mongoose. In
Okay.
This scenario.
The mongoose.
And she's the cobra.
And,
All right.
and just like that, we have a new nickname.
Megan
Megan the Mongoose
Brackenberry. Megan's the weasel, and Sibley's the snake.
Yep,
Okay.
I'm okay with that comparison.
Crafty like a weasel.
Yeah, we're
Okay.
gonna.
We
have
look forward to this. So
yeah,
okay,
very
well,
much
but
so.
let's let people know what this is actually about.
Yes, okay. Also, just want to say, violence is never the answer.
You are
Always.
two consenting adults
Yeah.
putting on boxing
yes,
gloves,
it's more about
punching each
skill.
other in the face.
Yes, I've consented to this. But I guess, I don't know, like they emailed like the boxing, I don't know,
Yeah.
ring, I don't
Yeah.
know what you call
Stanley
it.
Boxing.
Studio,
Yeah.
yeah, about it.
Friends
so I
League,
guess
yeah.
we're doing it.
I think Ollie and
Okay.
I were going to do this originally, but this is going to be way more interesting.
Yeah, well, you guys already did.
We did the
jiu-jitsu,
judo. Yeah,
or
yeah.
Judo. Was it?
It was judo.
Was
Oh,
it
no,
judo?
it was
jiu-jitsu.
it was jiu-jitsu. You're right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
against each other.
That's right. That was a few years
Yeah,
ago.
maybe
So.
it was judo. I don't know. There was a lot of throwing involved,
There was some throwing and
Yeah.
some chokeholds.
and I think
Rear
that-
naked choke.
I think Wheeler won that one.
I
Oh.
did.
Yeah, you can look up that video. You have
Against
to go back
Ollie.
a ways. On
Yeah,
the,
Ollie versus Wheeler is like 11 for me right now.
yeah,
It really is.
yeah.
Yeah, so much so that like Ollie didn't even participate in the last head-to-head video. Lecter did,
That's
and I
right.
won that one too.
Yeah.
It was small
Wow.
engine. It was small engine repair. We never released that video. It was too hot for the
Although
internet.
I got honorable mention for organization.
You really did.
That's
Because
pretty good.
I just went for speed, and I was like, I don't know where any of these things go back on. And you're like, I do.
Yeah.
I
Well,
got
they were
all my things in line here.
they were
Yeah.
saying like Scott will train one, and
Yeah.
the other person who runs it will train
So
the other.
John trains one, and Scott trains the other.
We thought they meant you, Scott, and I thought they were going to say
Oh.
Jesse trains the other. And I was like, neither of us will win.
Yeah.
You guys are our trainers.
You might. I know how to throw one.
I could teach you a figure 4 leg lock, but
There you
that's
go.
not going to help you in a boxing match.
Yeah.
So,
I know how to hip throw.
Yeah.
I could teach you like kicking the balls and
Yeah.
run.
Maybe like, you know,
I'm not sure that's going to work.
yeah,
I mean, it's still going to hurt.
toss into the turnbuckle, that sort of thing.
That thing, yeah.
Yeah.
That's right. Well, we look forward to this. Bracks versus Sibs. I think we just pumped this up for the next few weeks. until it
Absolutely. Yeah.
happens.
Maybe put a charity angle to it. Why not?
There you
There we go.
There you go. So glad I got that fader up.
Yeah.
When is this supposed to happen? Do
I
you know
have
yet?
no idea, but we need to train. Like, I need some
Right.
Yeah,
time to
we need
get
some
in shape.
montage
Yeah.
videos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I need to go.
Okay.
I'll be very upset if I don't win.
I mean,
I will just
you're
say
not
that.
going to be able to really rail on each other. I mean,
No,
that'd be
but
pretty
now
funny, though.
I'm angry, so.
But yeah, I imagine
Well,
you'd be wearing the full gear. You'd be wearing the headgear.
Yeah, the
exactly,
headgear.
yeah.
Stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
You'll get a
the thing.
concussion in that headgear.
One of them will win on points. It won't be a knockout.
Technical.
Or anything. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm going to come in, I said I was going to go straight for the kidneys.
Gonna make her pee blood. Oh, mercy. We look forward to this. Bracks versus Sibs. My money's on Sibs.
Oh, wow.
I'm the underdog, so I can only go up from here.
That's
so,
right. That's
you know
right.
what?
The mongoose has been backed into the
Screw
corner.
all of you. I'm winning.
Sibs, we wish you Godspeed. Brack, don't poke the bear.
The Mornings at the Cabin podcast.
It is Bell Let's Talk Day, and I didn't really want to get into Bell Let's Talk. Bell has a pretty terrible history with how they treat their own employees, especially ones asking for mental health help. But 5 cents for every applicable text, call, tweet, or TikTok video using hashtag Bell Let's Talk, social media view, or use of their Facebook frame or a Snapchat filter. So they've really expanded it. But 5 cents for every use. I mean, think what you want about Bell. 5 cents for every text and stuff like that. Still pretty good. But it raises the question of mental health and mental health concerns, especially here in the North, where mental health is on the surface taken seriously, but access to mental health resources is limited for a lot of people. Especially when it comes to things like addiction. We don't have a treatment center here. So I think the conversation should be less about the stigma of mental health, which is seemingly less than it used to be. It's not like looked down upon to go to therapy or anything like that.
No.
Or go see a counselor or seek help in rehabilitation and things
Yeah.
like that. So that's very good. I think that the talk should be around access to mental health and how everybody can get access to it, because here you're on a wait list to talk to somebody. That's why online counseling has become so popular. But there is something to be able to see somebody week on week in the same place and have a chat back and forth with somebody.
Yeah.
Because you can't put it all on your friends, because the hell do your friends know? I mean, they might have their own experiences, but I mean, all they can do is listen, which is great. And if you have a friend, please, or if you need a friend, call Lecter. I don't want to hear about it. I'm joking. That's terrible. That's a terrible thing to say. But
Hey, it's a strain on your mental health to
That's
hear
right.
about everyone else's problems.
That's absolutely. I got my own issue. No, not at all. But it is Bell Let's Talk Day. So if you are on Bell, you can send out those things. I mean, make a point of it. They're given money. They don't act the best towards their employees as we've seen in the past. Maybe they've improved. I don't know. I'm not super keen on corporate sponsorship for things like this, but
Well, they're
5
a media
cents for every
group, right? The most consistent thing they do is mass layoffs.
Yeah, that's right. It's true. It's absolutely what they do, which adversely affects people's mental health. However, I mean, 5 cents, anything you can do to simply give money, go for it.
Yeah.
Because it feels like even something like this, if you get enough people doing it. Last year they had 26,375,038 overall interactions. So times 5 cents, that's not bad.
And every year when this date comes up, I mean, first of all, it always takes me by surprise. I always kind of forget that Bell Let's Talk Day, like when it actually happens.
I always thought it happened in July.
I was thinking like next month. I don't know why. Yeah, but either way, it always seems to catch us by surprise. And we always kind of wrestle with the narrative around it, which is, like you just laid out, Bell, as a company, Bell Media does not necessarily have the best least hypocritical track record in this regard.
Yeah.
But it is a very a good promotion that they put on every year.
Yep.
And it does some good things. At the very least, raises money, and you have to give them credit that it does raise awareness and has furthered the conversation with regards to ending the stigma in mental health.
Even if it is a conversation where it's like, go to hell, Bell. I don't want to hear you talking about mental health. I mean, at least this is who I want to hear about talking to mental health, because I've seen a lot of people post that too, like saying like, I'm not going to get on this Bell thing, but here are some resources.
Yes.
So that's what this day does do. Even if you're not supportive of Bell Let's Talk, you do those contributions by doing the every applicable text, call, tweet, TikTok video, or whatever.
Right.
But you can also share resources that you found helpful to anybody out there, because I mean, there are resources out there. It's just a matter of getting access to them.
Yeah. And I mean, they certainly didn't start the conversation, but they have made a point of, at least on an annual basis, bringing it up, reinforcing that conversation, and making it, in effect, like in a lot of ways that you look, kind of inescapable to think about it at the very least. And if it's on your mind, then it's probably going to work its way into your general conversation. And I was kind of thinking about this in, you just think back to like 10, 15 years ago, and how much the narrative around mental health really has changed. Speaking of troubling mental health, I know some folks who have embarked on an OC binge.
Okay.
You remember the show, The OC?
God, my heart sank a little bit. I thought you were going to get all serious on it.
No, well, I mean,
The OC?
it's kind of serious.
I mean, Adam Brody. I agree for Adam Brody.
It's not something they're proud of.
Yeah.
But it happened, and so we need to talk about it.
Fair enough.
But I may have taken in a little bit of this binge.
Yeah.
I may have been present for some of it.
Terrible.
And there is a storyline where, of course, Marissa Cooper, a very, very troubled character throughout the show, where her parents decide that it is probably their best route for Marissa's well-being to put her into therapy.
Yeah.
And
it was a whole thing.
The end of her world.
Yeah, it's a whole thing. I'm like, oh my God, therapy.
And all her friends are like, how do we bust her out? Her parents are throwing her in prison, essentially, by putting her into therapy. How do we break her out of this therapy? How do we stage a jailbreak? We need to save Marissa from this evil therapist.
Therapy. Yeah. And because some of the writers on the OC were probably Scientologists. So they were like, therapy's just a hoax, blah, blah, blah.
And that kind of, that struck me in contrast to now, where therapy is...
Where everyone's in therapy.
And everyone should be.
Yeah.
Like, everyone should have
someone
easy access to professional help with regards to their mental health. And it just, struck me watching that, OC was like, 2004, 2005, somewhere around there. Yeah. It just struck me all these years later, 50 and 16 years later, how the conversation has changed so much. And like a storyline in a TV show like that about someone being put into therapy and it just being the worst thing that could possibly happen to them, that would be such a ludicrous storyline in this day and age. Yeah. And kind of struck me thinking about that the conversation really has changed.
Yeah.
Which is obviously a good thing.
It is.
Didn't work out well for Marissa, but
I saw a tweet yesterday. A friend was sharing a tweet about that very thing, about how we react to therapy now, and it said, "Boomer, colon, did you hear that she was in Whispers therapy?" And then it goes to millennials, colon, ha ha ha, my therapist said the funniest thing today. So we have changed the conversation. But up north, the conversation still lies not in whether or not we need mental health, whether or not we can get access to it.
Yes.
So that's the big conversation. So we just need to keep pushing in that direction. And of course, removing the stigma, because some people still have it.
Yeah.
I mean, imagine how many people would be better off today if in the 50s and 60s and 70s, therapy was like totally normal and totally normalized.
Yeah. The nice thing is that grand perspective, those who still think of therapy and mental health with a stigma attached to it are in the vast minority these days, I would say.
I would say too. So Bell Let's Talk Day. Do that every applicable text, call, tweet, or TikTok. 5 cents to mental health initiatives. But also share any resources they have, things that have helped you, however you can. I mean, or don't take this day, since you're being reminded of it constantly, to just not. That's okay too. Take the day. We'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Have a great day. Bye-bye.
Thanks for listening. Check out more from the show at cabinradio.ca and by following the Mornings at the Cabin Facebook page.